Yeah, Dr. Radhakrishnan has actually joined us, I think. Welcome, Radhakrishnan. Good evening. I think he's muted. Okay. See, the thing is, no, what you have to see is when the patient is actually, when you're actually seeing the patient, actually part of the cheek is also having a scar. Understood? It's not that particular area only. So, see, if the graft is available, if you are able to take adequate amount of graft from the child's thigh or leg or somewhere, no, then it is better to actually remove all the scar. Okay, and
Okay.
so that when you remove the scar, you put a good graft, and the chances of those things healing primarily and very well is very good. So as far as possible, don't retain any scar on the face side. Okay,
Okay.
on the lower portion, what you can do is, what happens is once you release, you will suddenly see that all these scars actually going to go down to almost the level of the clavicle, even if your the incision is that particular thing. But what I would do is actually I would be removing all the scars on top, and partly in some more scars I would be actually removing down. Someone actually asked a good question in between also through the chats. They were, actually you have answered it previously. How would you actually know the true defect and the apparent defect and the true defect? How will you actually do the how will you study that?
Sir, apparent defect can be measured pre-operatively by choosing same texture and heighted person, and true defect can be decided on the OT table after releasing the contracture.
When you're measuring that apparent defect, what you have to do is you have to ask that particular person
To
to
extend.
slightly extend the neck also.
Okay.
So that is a
Extension.
point. Extend that.
Okay.
That is a point. So and now you actually released all these things and then you put a graft. And then what else will you tell the patient?
I will tell the patient neck should be extended position by putting the some pillow or beneath the shoulder, not on the beneath the head, and rise to
Beneath
feeding.
the head, you want to
Not to
keep
head. Oh, beneath the
okay.
shoulder, sir.
Yeah, beneath the shoulder.
And okay. And rise to feeding will be continue at least 1 week to prevent the soiling of the food and movement to prevent the deglutition of the to prevent the deglutition. So can minimize the movement of the graft over the bed, and after on the fifth day, first dressing will be open and check
Yes.
the. Hello.
Yeah, can hear you, Dr. Adarshan.
Yeah. Tell me, Dr. Hitesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The
So,
scar, I mean, the incision which you have marked is right at the.
till the scar and normal tissue, sir.
Pardon me.
At the junction between the normal tissue and scar junction, scar tissue.
Scar tissue. Okay.
But here,
normal
what you have
tissue and the
marked,
scar tissue.
but what you have
What does
marked is
it
not
mean?
Hello. Yes, sir.
that.
Yeah. Your incision line comes exactly at what point? See, whenever you want to, hello,
sir.
it's something like a seesaw. Okay.
Okay.
You have to assume the scar like a seesaw. You are sitting on the summit of the whenever something like a seesaw. When you see the summit, when you press the summit, both the sides will go down, isn't it?
Okay.
Do you get me? Yeah. So
Okay,
it is the scar which is pulling cranially and caudally. So you should incise exactly at the level of the summit of the scar. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So then only you'll get the maximum release. So how do you assess your release? As suggested by?
By the neck extension of the patient.
Neck extension, and what else will be there? Can you project the photograph once again? Somebody can screen share the photograph.
Hitesh, controllers with you, Hitesh.
Yeah.
You have to change the pictures. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you see what are all the things which should be in there should be some points, no, to check whether your release is correct or not. How will you check?
I will
Patient
check
is anesthetized.
I will check the passive extension of the neck of the patient and lateral extension of both sides, right and left.
Right and left. You have marked some lines and all, no? Okay.
Okay.
Is the scar extending to the ear? The scar is not extending to the ear, no?
No.
So what will happen? So the ear and the shoulder, everything will almost be in a line, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Now what has been flexed anteriorly, okay, as a result of which the ear, everything will appear as if it is forward, though it is not so forward, apparently. So once you release this, the shoulder, everything will be in same line, almost line. That is one thing. Then you can see the movements. Okay. Then you can see the movement. This is incremental release. How long you will go down?
Sir, till platysma.
Till
platysma.
Till platysma. Okay. What will you do to the platysma?
So I will cut the platysma.
Which level?
You will cut platysma. When will you cut platysma?
Hello, sir.
When will you cut platysma?
Hello.
We can hear you. When will you
cut platysma?
I can hear you, sir.
No, Hitesh, when are you going to cut the platysma?
If contracture release will be not fully released, so I will.
Yeah, there's another reason
when there is
a contracture of the platysma, then you will cut.
And effect, when you see like that.
Dr. Adarshan, your voice is actually
breaking.
When you see the bowstring, then you cut the platysma, isn't it? Otherwise, you don't do. My voice is breaking.
Yes.
Yeah, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. There is another reason why you cut the platysma also. One part of the platysma definitely you will cut. There is a cervicomental angle area. Now, that is a place where you want the maximum depth. So there also, as a rule, to actually improve the aesthetic appearance, you can actually make an incision of the platysma at that level also. And the important thing is, you said that you would actually keep a bolster dressing, no?
Okay.
Yeah, you said you will keep bolster dressing, one for the submental area and one for the cervical area. So what happens is that you take your bites at the cervicomental area and leave the sutures very long on both the sides. So what happens is one bite, one suture, you can use it for tying with the other part, and the other suture you can actually use it for tying for the lower part. So the cervicomental, that angle, that point of cervicomental point, that is very important. And that is why that area also, you're taking bites, and you should actually divide the platysma at that level also. Even though the platysma might not be affected, many people actually make small incisions at the cervicomental angle area.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let us say that this is a case that she's actually a 1 year old. This one, no, she's having this problem since 1 year old.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Would you,
Dr. Patel?
Yes, sir.
How do you classify this contracture? which category you put this contracture?
Sir, class 2.
What is class 2?
Class 2 is range of motion is restricted, but upward gaze is present.
Which classification it is?
Uh,
See, what is the original classification? Original classification was, yeah.
Archer classification.
Yeah. Mild, moderate,
Moderate, severe, and extensive.
extensive. Okay.
Okay.
Mild is what? Mild is
Mild
what?
is
One
less than one third of the scar over the anterior aspect of the neck.
And or when you extend the neck only, you'll be able to see the contraction.
Only,
okay.
Yes. Okay. Class 2 is
moderate. Class 2 is different classification.
Okay.
Moderate is what? Achar classification is what?
Okay. Moderate is scar between the 1/3 and 2/3 circumference of the anterior part of the neck, and scar will be visible, or even the flexion of the resting position. Okay. And severe contracture involve the more than 2/3 of the circumference of the anterior neck, and extensive contracture include the mento-sternal fusion.
Okay, so this is Achar. What is the present classification you follow? Because people use different, they think all of them are synonymous.
Okay.
I vaguely remember those days, initially the Achar classification was propounded, then some other classification came, then it was fine-tuned by ONA's classification. So different classifications exist. So what is that you would like to put it in this case?
Sir, according to Archer classification, this is a severe contracture.
Okay, but class 1, 2, 3. What is that?
Class 2, sir. Class 2.
Class 2 of which classification test?
Sir, exactly, I don't know. Remember of the name.
So in what way it is useful to you as a surgeon?
Sir can judge an idea of the severity of the contracture. So we have to judge regarding the extensive release of the contracture during the surgery, and then according to more severe contracture, there will be more defect, and then according to defect size, there will be judged regarding the resurfacing option.
Yes. See, basically, you have class 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Isn't it? Or up to 3 only?
Up to 3, sir.
Up to 3. Yes. So what happens is the linear scars, they all fall into the mild variety.
Okay. Sir. Okay.
Then you have a band type. Then you have a broad scars. So these are all the different types of scars which you get. So usually the linear scars and other things we can get away with Z-plasty or some local adjustments kind of thing.
Sir.
Okay. So problem comes in your class 3 scars and the severe and extensive scars of Achar, wherein you need to necessarily go down up to the deep fascia and release it and cover it or resurface it with either of the available things, either with skin graft or with
either by flap.
flaps. Okay. Either this extensive, there may not be sometimes the particular of the flap, we do not know, but usually it will be available, or sometimes the resulting raw area will be too large that you may have to use what kind of flaps?
Pre-flap, sir.
Not pre-flaps, expanded flaps.
Okay, expanded.
Expanded neck flap.
Okay.
Expanded neck flaps.
Okay, sir.
Expanded in the sense you need to put the tissue expander much before you plan to release the flap. Usually that will be difficult. So some people, what they do is they raise the flap whatsoever it is, whatever it will do. But it all depends on the severity and the anesthetist, experience of the anesthetist also. Sometimes it may
Okay.
be very difficult to put in the tube. How will you manage such cases? Severe mentosternal contractures.
Okay. By sir, incision release under local anesthesia with light sedation, and then.
See, you need to do it under tumescent local anesthesia, release it nicely. Then you can put in the tube. That is
Tube.
one. Then
Okay.
what else? What else? Suppose if the anesthesiologist say that no, I need to have a secure this thing. What will you do? Previously, people used to do submental intubation. There is a technique called submental intubation, but
Okay.
nowadays it is not being done much. Okay. Then,
Okay, sir.
see, if you know what is there, that is enough. You need not go into the nitty-gritty of things, because that is
Okay.
more important to the anesthetist rather than to the surgeon.
Okay.
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 The same case, if it is kept for anesthesia examination,
Okay.
then you'll have to get into all those details.
Okay, sir.
So you just know about submental intubation.
Okay, sir.
Then what else? What is the current
Sir,
thing which is being practiced in most of the places?
fiber optic intubation, sir.
Fiber optic intubation, flexible
Okay.
fiber optic
Intubation.
intubation. So that is what is, yeah, that much of thing. If you know, that's more than enough.
Others,
Okay.
one question
So
has
once
come.
you, yeah,
Which classification would you follow?
which
In the
class?
examination, which would be the best classification that a student should be answering? Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, sir.
I don't know. I think Dr. Radhakrishnan, again, the voice is gone.
Oh, yes,
We're
sir.
not able to hear.
Sir,
We'll
okay,
ask
okay.
after
Names
that.
and all not very important. Yeah, as long as you know that there is a thing called mild, moderate, and severe, and different bands and different types of contracture exist, that is more than
It's fine.
sufficient.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to find fault with you for not knowing this.
Not with me.
But if you know it, it is you always carry an additional
Okay.
thing. So what flaps you use? What are the flaps which you can use in the neck?
Sir, in case of according to region wise, in case of regional flap, I will use supraclavicle flap, supraclavical flap, or
The vascular basis.
vascular basis. The supraclavical flap is based on the supraclavical artery, the branch of the transverse cervical artery.
You know the surface anatomy?
Yes, sir.
You will take it from which side?
Sir, depend on the virgin tissue.
Exactly. See, sometimes you may not be able to. I don't think you can. Certain cases, it's very difficult. You may not be able to take supra. Suppose if the patient doesn't want a skin graft, where from you'll take the skin? What are the options?
Sir, I can't hear you.
What are the other options?
What are the other options? Flaps.
Okay. Other option is from the back side, dorsal scapular flap.
It's part of that, but it's actually the occipital artery flap with actually.
See what you do is the supraclavicular artery is there, no?
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
from the transverse cervical. From
Uh,
the other, whether the transverse cervical, what is the other branches of transverse cervical?
Sir, other transverse cervical branch is uh, uh, sir,
Huh?
dorsal scapula.
Somebody is actually talking. No problem. Carry on, Hitesh.
Sir,
What is
dorsal
superficial
scapula.
cervical?
அந்த குரூப்ல எனக்கு ஆட்
Superficial
ஆகுது
cervical.
இவங்க ஏதோ லிங்க் அனுப்புனாங்க அதை வச்சு நான் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றேன்
Sir, I can't hear you because of some breaking
Yeah,
noise.
yeah, yeah. Somebody is talking.
Sir,
Hello?
yes,
You
sir.
can limit
Yes,
the
sir.
discussion later. What is the superficial artery, superficial cervical artery? Flap. Where does it come from?
Uh, Comes from the transverse cervical artery, sir.
Okay, can you bring it for lateral contractures?
Yes, sir. Mainly used for the posterior anterolateral contracture. Lateral and posterior part of the contracture. But difficult to manage this case.
Okay, any other option? Is there any other flaps that you can actually utilize?
Sir,
Contractures.
based on the deep superficial and deep branch of the transverse cervical artery, like dorsal scapular artery flap.
Want a very large flap, no? Because these flaps are very small.
Okay, okay. And other option is free flap, anterolateral,
Is there a pedicle
type.
flap? Is there any pedicle flap that you can think of?
Any other pedicle flap?
Okay, see, okay, no problem. See, there is actually something like a propeller flap. Okay, so it is not
Okay, sir.
exactly a propeller flap, but it is actually a perforator pace flap based on the occipital artery. So what is done is you actually mark out the occipital artery. You take a flap, a long flap, very long flap. But the important thing is that you have to include the lateral part of the scapula, where actually the circumflex scapular vessels actually would be coming. So that part of the flap also should be taken. So this vessel is actually used for supercharging with the opposite fascia. This whole thing, you can actually move it forward and then you supercharge that flap with either the ipsilateral fascial or the contralateral fascial. And these flaps are also actually pretty useful for these are the pedicle flaps, which are pretty useful. It's a very uncommon flap, but this is again another flap that can be actually used. And then what are the other flaps you were talking other than pedicle flaps, free flaps?
Okay.
Sir, which free flap you will think about?
Anterolateral thigh free flap.
Anterolateral thigh will be too bulky. Okay. Anterolateral thigh will be too bulky. Usually the local pedicle flaps and expanded pedicle flaps are the flaps of choice, if at all, if you're planning for flap. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Understood. Very rarely you can use the radial forearm kind of thing, but usually the local pedicle flaps and skin graft will suffice. What is happening to the lip? Hello.
Sir, lip. There is a sir lip. Sir, lip. There is no significant atropine of the lower lip, but I will release the neck contracture. So maybe disappear the atropine of the lip because of there is a eccentric contracture etiology.
Yes, good. See the once you release the lip, will it stay in place?
Oh. Yes, sir.
Will it stay in place once you release the lip?
No, sir. In case of intrinsic contracture, so I would like to release the lip contracture release at same place. But in case of extrinsic contracture, primary pathology will be another side, distant side. So uh, uh, released another network contracture. So might be a release of atropine of the lip.
What is 1-2 flap?
1-2 flap.
Anybody? Any other person? Shailaja, Ankita, Srilekha, Anbarasan.
So can you repeat the question once, sir?
What is 1-2 flap? 1-2 flap. So
No idea, sir.
you just keep it for this thing. If you are not able to find out, we will let you know next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
1-2
There are
flap,
certain
sir.
things which you can. Yeah, 1-2. It's normally marked as 1-2 flap, but
Yes,
yeah. Somebody else? Hello.
I think some other crosstalk is happening.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell me. So what you do like that? Just find out where do you do that? What is the name for it? Whatever it is, what is the technique? You just let me know. Okay. So if the
Okay,
patient
sir.
is wearing her attire is like this with this kind of t-shirt and with this kind of dress. So how will you mark your incision in this kind of cases? How will you camouflage the scars over the chest? Aesthetically, there are 2 points. One is functionally releasing the contracture, making
Okay.
her to see
Okay.
and look better, and to
Okay.
have a
वो बच्चा आ गया है राजनांदगांव वाला
straightforward gaze.
Okay. Okay, sir.
हाँ ये है
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
हाँ वहाँ डॉक्टर को बोलना देख के फोटो भेजेगा मेरे को फिर बात करेगा
Can buddy?
somebody is
Dr.
cross-talk.
Sunil,
I think
yeah,
please.
Dr. Sunil Kalda. Yeah,
Oh,
fine. Carry on. Yeah.
Okay. So what? So that attire or clothing or whatever it is the patient wears, that also helps you to decide about the incision and camouflage and all those things.
Okay.
Burns management starts with initially in treating the acute burns, then in managing the contractures,
Okay.
then bridging the stop gap. This case happens to be an adult lady, probably adolescent and
Yes.
all. You need to manage them in between. Then till they become a productive member of the society, responsibility goes. Okay. I have
Okay, sir.
a management right starting from we manage like that only, right from pediatric age group till they come. So that way only we should manage, and we have managed like that only. Okay. So every
Okay, sir.
stage there will be some kind of problems that will be there. See, for example, if there is an eversion of the lip, permanent eversion of the lip, what will you do?
Sir, in permanent evolution, I will release the contracture to create the labio-mental sulcus. I will will give transverse incision and release the contracture and upward the lip to create the labio-mental sulcus, and then after we resurface the defect.
We surface the defect later.
By full thickness skin graft.
Full thickness, you don't say. At least intermediate. Thickness, thicker skin graft. Intermediate thickness skin graft.
Okay, sir.
And how will you immobilize that?
By bolstered, sir. By bolstered dress.
What should be there finally? Once you put the dressing and all, how will you ascertain your release. If the lip is right or not, is enough or not.
Sir,
How is the lip looking like now?
lip sealing, sir.
Lip seal should be there. The lower lip should seal with the upper lip. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Because you have to take into account the gravity assisted pull and also the contracture. So you have to negate these two things and then you have to plan release accordingly. Otherwise, you'll be going on releasing it.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir.
And what else you want to do to make her better?
Sir, I will advise to apply silicone gel sheet or silicone gel or silicone gel sheet and massage therapy to prevent the hypertropicity.
So will you not give a neck collar?
Yes. Okay. Okay, sir. I'm talking about the lip. So okay. Okay.
What collar you will give?
Sir, soft.
Soft will not work. You should use a thermoplastic collar or a plastic collar.
Okay, thermostatic splint with inner lining by some silicone gel sheet.
What is Watusi splint?
Yes, sir.
What is Watusi
What is
splint?
Watusi splint?
Watusi splint, it's actually a tribal Watusi. There's a tribe in Africa. So this is named after the Watusi tribe. What is normally done is soft plastic tubes are taken. That is normally used for these cardiac surgeries. They have that for this one cardiac bypass machine. So pulmonary bypass machines. Those tubes are used, and they are actually you put in gauze bandages through that, and then you tie it one over the above. So it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that 4, 5 you would have, and you would do it in such a way that the tube is only extending till here. So what you can do is you can get this extended, and the back would be smaller. So that is again another cheap and effective and easy to use tube. Only the problem is that once you take shower, you have to actually put it back and then you have to tie it.
Okay. Have you seen these gypsies on the road? They use different types of rings. Stack it. Okay. Hello.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
This is mainly to increase the incremental neck extension. It is achieved by this kind of splint. But compliance will be little difficult for the patient because you need to keep adding those things, and it will not be. Sometimes it may not be rigid also with our substandard tubes. So it is difficult. But I have tried in 1 or 2 occasions, and compliance is little difficult. Otherwise, it's a good idea.
We have been actually doing it in our
African tribes so as to show a long neck. Yes.
Yeah,
We've been doing it, and we have been.
Thesis. It was my thesis during my MCH time.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I asked you.
And it was a prize-winning paper.
Yes, and we have been also following it in couple of cases, but the only thing is the compliance is the real.
Compliance is the biggest problem. Tying in, no? So you have five.
So how long you'll? Yeah.
At least
how long
1 year.
You'll keep the split? Yeah, 1 year.
Yes.
Okay. Then afterwards, what will you do? How will you follow the patient? The growth spurt and other things. Actually the problematic area is the transition line angle of the mandible and the lower jaw. That area of the contracture extends, then that is a problematic area. Usually with whatever you do, patients will tend to develop a hypertrophic scar. Okay. So you should take care of the management of the hypertrophic scar and take care of the vitelliginous patches. And also you should provide a comfortable clothing, wear, whatever it is, which you should discuss and ask the patient to wear. So burns management is a long drawn process. It doesn't stop
Okay.
with treating the burn scar alone. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Hitesh, one more question I'll ask. See, is
Okay.
there any other treatment modality? You have told you put a skin graft, you have told about flaps. Is there something in between this which is actually better than a skin graft, but maybe not as good as a flap?
Sir, acellular dermis followed by grafting.
Absolutely. Actually, now the IDRT is there. So you use the Integra, you put that
Integra.
Integra, you excise it, put Integra, and then how is the process? Have any idea of how it is done? Okay, so what you do is you excise whatever area is there, you put your Integra, and the thing is that after putting the Integra, you have to put either a vac or a dressing has to be there. Ideally, a vac has to be there. So after 10 days, you have to change the vac, again put another vac, and then you have to wait for another 10 days. So total 21 days, you have to have the patient on vac. And then you remove that. Integra has got that what you call dermal matrix is there. On top of it, there is a silicon sheet also. So the silicon sheet, you will have perforated silicon sheet. So that vacuum is actually holding to it. By around 21 days, this collagen part, that dermal matrix, that would be infiltrated by blood vessels, and it would be nice and pink thing would be there. So you remove your silicon sheet, and then you put your regular skin graft on top of it. The final result, both in appearance and the strength of the graft, is much better than putting a skin graft. So those would be the way forward. It is better than skin graft, but the only problem is the cost involved, because a 10 by 12 inches 10 by 12 inches Integra is probably 80,000 rupees. So in a country like ours, you might have to use two Integras over here. The cost of the Integra itself would be a lakh and a half. So that is a problem. Right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Anything else, Radharshan? Is there any other question? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Dr. Radharshan? Dr. Radhakrishnan?
Hi. I think wonderful presentation and excellent discussion. Could you repeat the name of that tribe, please, again?
What, sir?
Hi. What's the name of the tribe that use the rings around the neck? What's the name of the tribe?
Watusi. Watusi. W-A-T-U-S-I. Watusi split. Watusi tribe.
Okay. I never heard of that. Thank you.
You can check it out. It is there. And I think IJPS has got an article also that we are actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Right. Is Dr. Radhakrishnan there? Hello.
So he's there, but I think some network issue he has.
Okay.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Sir, what is the indication of...
Next.
Sir, what is indication?
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Yeah. Hitesh, ask your question, Hitesh.
Sir, what is indication of
Yes, sir.
incision release or excision release in case of PBC neck?
See, ultimately, it is the availability of graft, your confidence, and what the patient requires.
Okay.
So all these things are important over there. And then you
Okay.
take a call of whether you want to do an excision or an incision. In this particular case, in my practice, if this patient comes, I would go for excision. Definitely of that line that you made, that same line only I would be going through. But the area on top of it, I would actually excise. If I'm able to give a good, nice graft over there, I would excise. And that you can actually start seeing your graft. You take your graft, you see if the quality of the graft that you've taken is good, and you have adequate amount of graft that can be taken, then you go and put an excision.
Okay.
And
So,
then,
sir, first, okay, sir. First option will be grafting in
minimum
the.
incision. Minimum is incision, fishtailing, grafting. Minimum thing.
Okay. And
Like all
what
the,
is? Okay.
You put a sheet graft, as far as
Okay.
possible, put only minimum number of slits in the graft. In case you're putting a slit, it should be parallel to the lines of the
Sir,
that same
sir,
direction.
sir.
Don't put vertical slits. Okay.
Okay. And
Anything else?
sir, when will we choose the flap coverage compared to grafting?
Again, suppose there is a smaller defect, the patient is actually coming much earlier. Say, let us say that the patient is here by 3 months, because then what happens is that the problem of putting a graft is going to be very bad, because there's a high chance of hypertrophic scar coming when you do it even before
Okay.
the scar matures. Usually, you wait for the scar to mature at least 6 months, 8 months. You wait, and then only you actually go for an excision and putting a release and graft over that. Suppose you have to do earlier, for some reason you have to do earlier, then preferably go in for a flap. Okay, so you know what is a Chinese flap?
No, sir.
Chinese flap, previously the radial forearm flap was actually described long time back, and that time it was called a Chinese flap. And one of the first indications for putting this
Sir,
flap,
extra
radial, no. It's a regular free flap only. So that one of the first reasons were for the contracture neck release. So that
Okay.
is one of the first reasons they use the radial forearm, because that was a very thin, supple tissue that was there. No? Yeah,
Okay.
Radharshan, are you there? Hello, hello, Dr. Radharshan. Yeah, shall we actually go for the next case? Okay.
Sir, there is a doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, some
Oh,
examiners usually ask about the mutter flap in post-burn
Yeah.
contracture of. So what is the, sir? I
Mutter,
have searched, but
mutter flap is what? Coracohumeral flap. Mutter
Okay.
flap is
Uh,
no. I'm just telling you. Mutter flap is the coracohumeral flap.
okay.
It is a mirror image flap. People thought that that will come, but that mutter flap may not be able to reach fully up to the length and breadth of the contracture. Understood? Hello.
yeah, we can hear you.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
yes.
There are a couple of other questions also that some people have asked. One, I think Anup Shivakumar has asked one. Should we offer excision of the hyperpigmented area in the upper chest in this case? See, Shivakumar, if you might not be having adequate amount of graft, and it might be a overkill if you are going to try to do it in a single sitting. So I would prefer that we actually get rid of most of the tissue here in the upper visible part and wait for another at least 2 months or 3 months where you can actually excise that area. I would actually probably put in a tissue expander if there is some skin available in the chest, the breast area. No? If something is there, actually we can actually try to put in a tissue expander, expand that, and try to actually move it medially and get rid of all the hyperpigmented area over there. Because ultimately, that is again when you are wearing a dress with that area is actually pretty visible. No? So if it is possible go there with tissue expansion, that is what I would be actually doing. And there's another question: how to manage recurrent contracture? Again, Varnika, recurrent contracture. Again, you got to release it. Either then you have to actually take a cost. Maybe it's only a band. That bands usually come if you have actually not actually excised that contractures on the platysmal bands. So then you actually later you start to see that these bands develop. Or it would be if that fishtailing is not done in the lateral portion. Again, in those areas, again you would be able to see these bands forming. If you're having vertical bands, then you have to think of other techniques like multiple Z-plasties, etc. over there. The next question is orientation of SSG in recipient bed taken from thigh, how to place it. That's basically it's transverse, you place it transversely. You try to get that as one sheet, the whole thing for this neck over here, another sheet for the submental area. So 2 sheets you'll be having like that, and then try to make your, keep it just overlap each other in that cervicomental area, and then take bites through that and leave it long so that one part can be used to tie the bolster on top, and the other long thread can be used to tie the bolster for the neck area. So one for the submental and one for the neck area. So that's probably how we will be actually doing the graphs over there. And Radhakrishnan, are you there? Hello? Hello? Joseph?
Sir?
You can hear me, no? I thought
Yes.
suddenly I was thinking I was not able to hear anything. So I was just a couple of things I just want to I want to just these are non-academic things, no?
Sir.
Hello. Hello.
You're able to hear?
The burn scars, don't try to chase all the scars. Hello.
Yeah.
A lot of disturbance this time, I think.
Your voice is actually breaking. That is a problem. Here, there's a lot of
A lot of disturbance, I think. Isn't it, Sandeep?
Yeah. A lot of disturbance.
Yeah, breaking. Yeah. See this. This in burn scar. Yeah, in burn scar, you don't try to chase all the scars. It will be difficult. Okay, wherever there is functional restriction, functional issues, you just sort it out. Then you can add aesthetic value to that later. You get me?